This week on the $1 Million Plan, I take the easy route and welcome a guest who's already a millionaire, and I'm going to try to take credit for it. Her name is Aurora, and she joins us now on the $1 Million Plan. Hello, Aurora.
Hi, Pete.
Nice name choice. I assume you chose that and not someone from my staff chose Aurora.
I did. It's always been a name that if I had a little girl, I would have named her, so I figured I would use it.
It is also the name of a sedan made by Oldsmobile in the early 90s. They went out of production, but I assume that's not the inspiration for wanting to name a daughter Aurora.
Not so much, no.
All right. So you're on the show. I'm excited about this. Tell us about yourself. You're 38 years old, and you're already a millionaire. How'd that happen?
So my husband and I have really been saving since we graduated college. He got a little bit of a head start. His parents started saving when he started working when he was in high school in a Roth IRA. And then sort of as soon as we graduated, we started saving in 401ks, and that's sort of how this has accumulated.
So can I make an assumption? What I know about your life is what you've told me, and that's it at this point.
Right.
Can I make an assumption that maybe early retirement is as a goal of yours?
It would. I mean, we would love that if that was possible. Yes.
And what does that mean to you? I mean, 67 is standard. Age 67 is standard retirement. For you, are you thinking 50? Are you thinking 45? Like, what are we thinking?
Well, 45 sounds awesome, but that's like 5 years from now, it feels like. So probably more closer to 60, I would guess.
Oh, to 60, actually. Okay.
Yeah, I would think so.
So that's 22 years from now. And you're putting quite a bit away for retirement right now. You're putting away as much as $4,500 a month. How are you able to do that?
So, I mean, that includes our employer match.
Sure.
So I think that's probably why it includes so much, because we both have really good matches. I mean, his is 10% and mine is 7%.
Wow.
So that helps us a lot because we both put in the max amount you can save each year.
Are you in competitive career fields? Because when you have that good of matches, it makes me think you're in an industry where your employer wants to retain talent, such as you and your husband.
Well, no, I think we're both a nonprofit, so I think that they like to kind of make that up, the fact that they're not being paying the most competitive rates in sort of salary matches in terms of the 401ks.
Sure. And so you've got over 50 grand in savings right now. You make over $10,000 take home a month. What do you view your short and mid-term priorities to be right now?
Well, so that's sort of my problem is
Okay.
that we have spent a lot of time focusing on retirement and sort of ignored the mid-range. Besides buying a house, and we have an emergency cushion, but we haven't really saved to do upgrades on our house or, just things that, you do. I mean, we take a vacation every year, but that's really about it. So I guess we were kind of thinking, are we saving too much for retirement? Should we be kind of looking more to the mid-range or should we be paying down our mortgage? Like we've ignored that mid-range.
Sure.
We've only focused on long-term.
Do you have any children?
I have one. He's 7.
Okay. And as far as we know, there will be one, or is there the possibility in the future that we add to that? Just one?
Just the one.
All right.
Just the one.
Is he loud? I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, and they're very loud. How's your 7-year-old?
He is very loud.
Oh, my
Yes.
gosh, they're so loud. What are they doing?
Yes. Yeah, and we live in a neighborhood of very loud boys, and they're all
Boys.
very loud.
My son, we're not a big gun family, but my son can make a gun out of anything. He'll eat a grilled cheese
Yeah.
sandwich, take 2 bites, and it's a weapon. Does your son do that?
Yes, as do all of his friends. So it's a lot of weapons.
A lot of
out of nothing.
sandwich
Sticks.
violence. Sticks,
Yeah.
cake,
Sticks.
Legos,
Yeah.
all guns.
Anything. Yeah.
So at the current pace of what you're doing, saving $4,500 a month, you have $1.1 million saved for retirement now. 22 years from now, when you're age 60, you would have roughly $9.6 million, which would give you a monthly retirement income of $22,000 a month, which will feel like $13,000 a month. So needless to say, given the fact that you are living on $10,000 a month right now, less than $10,000 a month, retirement's fine. Like, it's done. And you could either retire a little bit earlier or back off the retirement savings a little bit.
Okay.
From what you've said, it seems like you feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me nervous, because it just
Sure.
seems so far away, and you don't know what's going to happen.
That's true. I mean, we'll start trying to poke some holes in this situation here in a bit, but even things like tax reform, the idea that
Right.
the benefits of contributing to a 401k could dwindle over the next several years if tax reform goes the wrong way. From a debt perspective, do you have any debts? Tell me about your mortgage.
So we have a 15-year mortgage with 12 years left. The payment is about 3,600.
Okay.
Um,
And then what area of the country are you in?
we are on the East Coast, right outside of DC.
Okay. So, it's funny based on where you live in the country, you hear $3,600 a month house payment and you're whoa, but in certain areas of the country, I'm guessing you live in a nice yet somewhat modest house. Is that true?
That's true. That's very true. Yes.
How many square feet is it? Not that we're going to turn this into a real estate show, but how many square feet is that?
I think maybe 3,400 if you include the basement.
Okay. And then how old is the home?
30 years.
All right. All right. And you got 12 years left. Is this your original mortgage or did you refi?
We refied. When the rates dropped really low, we refied.
Okay. And you've got $23,000 in a car loan too.
Yeah.
Are you paying just regular payments on that? Or are you trying to get
Just paying regular payments on that. We just got it last year,
So life
before that we were driving something that was it didn't have debt on it, but it had almost 200,000 miles.
So your financial life seems, I want to say easy, but that seems condescending to say easy because you're working hard at it. Maybe you're just making it look easy, but it isn't easy. Is that true or is it easy?
I think I feel like we don't want to squander the opportunities we've been given.
Sure.
So that's maybe sometimes it's easy, but I just want to make sure that we're maximizing, and I'm not going to wake up 20 years from now and wish I had done something different.
Do you have a strategy or any thoughts around college planning for your very loud 7-year-old?
Yeah, so we have about $87,000 saved for him,
Okay.
and that's in a mix of brokerage and 529. My husband actually works for a higher ed university,
Okay.
so if my son could and should get in there, there'd be some discounts involved.
Do you have any other aspirations other than retirement? It sounds like remodeling could be something or pumping some money
Yes.
back into the house. Like how much are we talking?
Oh, probably at least $100,000.
Oh, wow. So what are we talking about doing?
We're talking about a backyard, bathrooms, possibly a roof. I mean, nothing all that exciting. I mean, we're not talking about making a spa. We're just talking about bringing it out of the 1979 motif.
I like the idea that had your punctuation been different on the beginning of your phrase, it would have been backyard bathrooms. It's like, well,
Yeah.
an outhouse is pretty nice, Aurora.
No. An indoor bathroom and maybe some kitchen upgrades. But
Are you
nothing
trying to
all that
avoid
spectacular.
financing this project? You want to pay cash for it?
I would like to if possible, yeah.
So, yeah, this is interesting. So the question really is, how much can you lower retirement savings on a regular basis and pump that towards the funding of this project without compromising retirement, right?
Yes.
Ooh, I like this question. So let me ask a few others. You have 56,000. Bree, what slide? Can you pull up the slide of how much they have in savings there? $53,000 in savings. Are you putting any money towards that on a regular basis right now?
We are. About 800 goes into an emergency / short term that we keep kind of going through.
Okay.
And then we're also saving for a birthday trip next year for when we turn 40.
Oh my gosh, I'm having a birthday party. I turned 40 this year, and me
Yeah.
and my good friend from 6th grade, who were still buddies, we're having have a big party. But
That's awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't want to party. I want a trip.
Well, have a trip. Yeah, I'm gonna have a party at a brewery. I mean, that's where
okay.
I'm at in my
That sounds
life.
fun. Yeah.
So okay, you've got how much of that 53,000 do you consider to be? What happens if we lose our job? 3 months or 6 months expenses? Like, what do you like to have set aside?
I think about 35 of that is set aside for
Okay.
emergencies.
So what's the math? 18 then is house fund? Can we call 18 as house fund?
Well, that's so some of that is in like a brokerage account.
Okay.
And so I don't really count that. I don't know why, but I just don't.
Well, I mean, you can do what you want. I mean, you can consider it however you want. Would you consider anything of the 53 for the remodel? Like, you just
Yeah,
tell me how much.
I guess let's say 15.
Okay. So we got legitimately $85,000 more to accumulate, or is 100
Yeah.
being very liberal with the number?
No, I think 100 is probably right on. I've priced out things, and I think that's probably where we're at.
How much a month? Okay, if I tell you to stop funding your emergency fund and put all of your funding, other than retirement, all of your other funding towards this 15, how much a month can you dedicate to the 15?
Probably 1,000.
Okay, so I'll do the math for you. That's $12,000 a year. Aurora, that's the sort of quality math you get here on this program.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive. I know. You seem speechless. So that takes you to $27,000 after 1 year. To me, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, clipping along at $12,000 a year seems like we're not going to get there in the amount of time you want to get there.
That is true.
Yeah. Realistically, what's the longest you can go without having the remodel done?
Oh, I think we could probably go pretty long. It's mostly, I mean, it's all functional. It's just more luck that I'm
Can you do it in
thrilled with.
stages, or do you have to do it all at once?
No, we could probably do it in stages.
Maybe that's the way to go. It's like, list out the projects, list out the dollar amount, and then prioritize them. And then that way, it really, I would think that'd be very motivating to just say, we can take out projects 1 and 2 this year, and then maybe 3 over the next 3 years. Does that seem reasonable, or would you not get into that?
Yeah, no, I think it's very reasonable.
Like, what would be the first thing you want done, and how much would it cost?
Well, I would like a new bathroom, and
Yes.
it's probably about $25,000
Okay,
for
so
the master.
an indoor bathroom.
An indoor master bath,
Right. And there's one toilet?
one toilet.
Why are there always 2 sinks and 1 toilet? You ever think about that?
I don't know. I only have one sink now and no drawers, so I would like 2 sinks.
1 sink,
I
no
don't either.
drawers. I grew up in a plumbing family, so I feel like I know a thing or two. About,
It has a shell.
Yeah.
It's a shell.
Did you get the joke? I said a thing or two, and I'm talking about plumbing and toilets. Thing or remember?
Oh, I did not get that, but now I do.
Ooh, that's rough. Okay, so you could conceivably within 12 months fund a bathroom, right? Because you got 15
Yeah.
out of 12. So can we do that? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
How does that feel? Like next May of 18, they've always said, and by they I mean no one, that's when you should redo a bathroom.
I think that would be good. I mean, it seems sooner than what I was thinking, so that's good.
Do you see? That's the fun part about doing this priority list, especially in light of what your husband's opinions are on this. Is one of you more opinionated than the other when it comes
yes.
to home repair? Who is it?
It's me.
Okay, well, at least you admit that. Jeez.
Yeah.
Wonder if someone asked me that same question. Who's more opinionated about home repair? I guess it's probably me. I don't know.
No, it's definitely me.
So if you went to him tonight and were like, "Hey, here's what we're doing. Next May, we're doing the bathroom and we're paying for it in cash," he'd be like, "All right, cool."
Yes.
Really? So you can just sort of call those shots, and he's like, "Yes, I trust you. Let's do it."
Yeah, because I feel like we've been talking about this bathroom for so long that I think he'd be like relieved that we kind of came to like a decision on it.
How do you price it at 25? I'm curious. Have you actually priced it?
We've had bids come in. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we've had bids come in, and that's sort of mid-tier in terms of the bidding structure.
Okay. You could do like heated floors or anything like that?
No, that doesn't even include heated floors. I would like them, but they're like almost too expensive for it because it would involve some rewiring and some electrical work.
You ever stay at hotels? I travel a lot, so I'm always in a hotel, always checking out hotel bathrooms. You ever see those mirrors that make you look like a model? And maybe you look like a model. I don't know, I've never seen you. But there's these mirrors when you stay at a nice hotel that make me look like, I look like Denzel. Anytime
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
in a
know if
bathroom
I've ever seen one of those mirrors.
No, I have.
That doesn't include. That's not included in this.
Okay.
It's just it's like literally a walk-in shower and some new sinks.
Okay. Let me just tell you, those mirrors are great, but they're also very
I
misrepresented.
will have to look into them. I will definitely look into them.
I think they're called Denzel mirrors, maybe. I don't know. But I'll tell you, you
Or
know what?
model mirrors.
Sure. But the problem is this. It's like, okay, I'm alone in my hotel room. I'm going to go speak to a big group of people. And as of this moment, I'm very, very attractive. I walk out the door of the hotel room, and Aurora, that whole phenomenon, it leaves. It's no longer present.
Well, then maybe I don't want them to be
Yeah.
disappointed.
That's true. You know what? Now that nix the mirrors. No Denzel
Okay.
mirrors in here. Okay, so this is interesting because what would be next on the list after the bathroom? Like, what would be the next priority?
There's another bathroom, and then there's front walk that needs to get done.
I must say, and I will say this because primarily it's my show. What we're discussing and how we're discussing it is why you are a millionaire, right? It's because you don't just say, "Well, hell, we're a millionaire. Let's do it now." Like, that's not how a real millionaire thinks. That's how people think a millionaire thinks, but a millionaire actually plans things and thinks through them and breathes and takes their time. And that describes sort of you and your husband in a nutshell, right?
Yes, yes. In fact, I don't think anybody even knows that we have like $1 million. Like, I don't think anybody would ever peg us that way.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, let's do this fun little game. What do you think your friends think you're cheap?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
They mock you for being
Definitely.
cheap?
Oh, yeah. I mean, using coupons the whole bit. They definitely do.
But they would be surprised that you were a millionaire, but they wouldn't be shocked given that you're cheap.
Right.
How long have you been married?
15 years this
Okay.
year.
See, that's the other thing here, is you've been doing it together the entire time. Like,
Yeah.
you've been through thick and thin as adults your entire adult life. My wife and I are the exact same way, is that we didn't have a chance to be stupid on our own. We had to be stupid together.
That's true.
How are your families like growing up? Like, same sort of understated wealth, or help us understand that?
My husband's family is. Mine was solidly middle class.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting, right? Because, but they weren't like crazy in debt. Your family.
No.
So did your husband's sort of leadership of trying to build wealth, did it resonate with you because you were thinking, hey, I saw what it was to be middle class. We want to certainly change that?
I don't know. I think, we both just started saving, and it just sort of grew, and then we were like, oh, this could really amount to something, and so it just kept on working. I don't think that we made a conscious decision. It just sort of happened.
How
Now it's more conscious,
how do your salaries break down? You make $235 as a couple. How does that break down? Like, who makes what?
He makes about 130 of that, and I make about 105.
Okay, and see, I think it's also important to point out you're just outside of D.C. I wonder how those salaries translate to middle America money, right? Is it really
Right.
80 and 60? Is that really what for as a frame of reference? I was talking to someone who lives in L.A. just last week, and a entry level person within a company, an administrative position, is like $55,000 to $60,000. Whereas in middle America, that's $30,000, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely different, I'm sure.
So I would actually peg your income, if we're trying to translate this to what it is in the rest of the country, other than a Manhattan or San Diego or something. I would put you probably at about 140 to 150 of household income, because people are watching this right now and they're saying, oh, you're a millionaire with $235,000 a year of income. That's true, but the cost of living out there, proven by the expense of your mortgage, is a lot higher
Right.
than a lot of places in the country.
It is, yes.
You spend a lot on commuting to and from work?
Yeah. I mean, like gas and insurance is higher and things like that.
How about daycare? Because your 7-year-old, is there after school care? How's all this work?
Yeah, he has after school care. It's actually, I think it's reasonable. It's about $400 a month. But I mean, when he was not in school, it was like almost $2,000 a month for, like daycare for the day.
Sure. Now,
So that was a big deal. So when he went to kindergarten, it was like we got a raise.
I'm going to ask this question. You know it's coming if you've ever listened to the show. Where are you in terms of life insurance and a will?
So we both have term insurance that we got when my son was born. for 30 years for $1 million each.
Okay.
Plus we have whatever the 1 or 2 times our salary is at work. And then we have wills.
Okay. Well, you know what? You've just earned the very rare 10 out of 10 on a financial wellness scale here on this show. I think you've only ever given one 10 out of 10 out. So now this is the second one, I think.
Well, I'm very thrilled.
Well, I don't know if you should be thrilled, but you've done a great job. Like, I think prioritizing the spend on your house, it's not in your sort of your habits and your behavior to spend those amounts of money. And so you've almost got to train yourself to say it's okay, knowing that your long-term goals are taken care of. And you do that by chunking it down into consumable bits every year or so, or every 2 years. And I think that's the way to do it.
Okay.
What other questions do you have? Anything else floating around?
Yeah, so I save in most of my percentage in a Roth 401k.
Great.
Do you think that makes sense at
Yes.
our income level?
I don't know what the tax bracket are off the top of my head. If you have to consider it this way, number one, by having Roths, you will be able to retire early prior to 60, conceivably, because you've already dealt with some of the taxes issues, and you can always take out what you've put in. If that flexibility of not being able to retire prior to 60 isn't important to you, then by all means you could do a traditional. I don't know. I if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. I think your situation is fine, and there's no reason I would change that unless you could conceivably take yourself below a tax bracket and it would matter right now. Do you typically get a tax refund or no?
No.
You pay?
Yeah,
I think it's fine.
pretty much always.
Yeah, I mean, that's the nature of a good financial life is you end up paying. It's something I hate to do, but I know it's a good thing, right?
Okay.
It's not poor tax planning. It's just
Right.
the nature of not having a lot of deductions.
Yes.
Even your mortgage, I mean, you don't have that many deductions because you're making giant principal payments as opposed to giant interest payments.
Yeah, and our interest is only like 3%, so
Yeah.
it's not a lot.
Why don't you do this? Why don't you start a blog and a podcast and a TV show and teach other people how to do this because you do it perfectly?
Oh, I don't know about that, but
Well,
it's good to hear.
you'll always have that feather in your cap.
Yes, I guess so.
Mark, well, keep us updated. I want to know I want pictures of the bathroom.
Okay.
Is that creepy to ask someone to send pictures of their bathroom?
The inside bathroom.
Yes. Not the outhouse. I mean, if you have a 7-year-old boy, the outside bathroom is just a tree.
Yeah, it is, on the side of the house, but yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ted, my 5-year-old, has not started peeing outside yet, although I know that's a thing. It's coming if someone shows him. Once you sort of break that seal, so to speak, a 5 to 7-year-old boy will just pee outside all the time, and that is fact. That is
true.
science.
That is true, yes.
I didn't do well in science class. All right, Aurora, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming on the show, and congrats. 10 out of 10.
Well, thank you. All right, thanks.
No, my pleasure. All right, coming up next on the $1 Million Plan, another case of someone in this wonderful country of ours trying to get their $1 million or more to secure their financial life. So congrats to Aurora. That's fantastic. 10 out of 10. What score will you get? Go to PeteThePlanner.com/podcast and apply to be on the show. That's it for this week. See you next time. Peace.
This is where I came from. Planet Lovetron, where we drop love bombs, funk missiles, and live in soul shelters. No helter skelter. The heat don't swelter because everybody stays cool. Left many moons ago to bring the philosophies of my ancestors to another place, God. Picked the third rock, gave me to my earth family, and told me to create, and so I am. Pen in my hand, microphone on the stand. Over vinyl, I command and demand. Magnificence in an instance, I can make you dance, cry, or love. Fly as a dove, released from Everest. The fresh is fresh, and you can call me E.T. Word to John Tesh. Let me bless this harmonic presentation. It's amazing, so amazing. I'm the reason. Salutations, I bring you Lovetron greetings from a faraway land. I am the sole controller. Put the remote down and let me take control. You're now a part of my zone, so enjoy yourself. Lovetron can restore your health. I bring you greetings, salutations. How you doing? And is that how y'all say it? The tinkling of the keys is an homage to the little star. I sojourn over poetic descriptions of sound and travel to my other world. Out of this world, spaceship on my arm took me home, fueled by the ink and the megabytes and the hypertext transfer protocol, stronger than the Skynet and the Terminator. I push faders into warp speed, glide with ease, creating a breeze they call a black hole. Event horizon, no rear view concerns. This I adjourn, and beats I burn. This I adjourn, and beats I burn. Salutations, I bring you Love-Tron greetings from a faraway land. I am the sole controller. Put the remote down and let me take control. You're now a part of my zone, so enjoy yourself. Love-Tron can restore your health. I bring you greetings, salutations. How you doing? And is that how y'all say it?